Without a shadow of a doubt, it's the Krunker Show in social media history. It's got to be 7 o'clock. Because we back for another episode of the War Zone. I got my co-host, Donovan Sadiq, Dimitri K, and I am the 5-star general. Say, man, tonight, UGK made a song called La Coochie Got You Dizzy. And I promise you something wrong. Because Future can't stop messing with Ciara and Russell. We're going to try to figure it out tonight, man. Say, I want to say top of the afternoon to you, man. Top of the afternoon to you. I want to thank you for tuning in. Remember, we can't do none of this without y'all, so it's always good that you tune in. Back when I was young, I was out there in them streets, man. I was out there, man. I was a pimp Mac Daddy looking for $1. That's what I was. I was a little fat pimp Mac Daddy looking for $1. But I tell you what, man, when somebody didn't want me, I went on by my business. man. Because if you don't want me, I don't want you. But it's something in the water at Ciara's house. Because Future can't leave that girl alone, man. I don't know what's going on, but I'm going to turn this over to Dimitri K because something going down, man. Talk to us.
So hello, everybody. How are you out there on this fine Saturday evening? So this topic was actually brought to us. We thought we'd give it a small break from the normal stuff, but of course, we'll get into that a little bit later. Biden, who is still trending on most people's timelines, we'll get into that after this. But anyway, somebody wanted us to discuss the debacle, if you will, the drama between Future, Ciara, and Russell. Now, okay, listen, like gossip is not really my thing, so bear with me here. So Ciara used to be with Future. Ciara and Future have a child together, and it sounds like Future has a whole bunch of kids, right? And so after she and Future broke, I sound like Wendy Williams, I swear for God. After Ciara and Future broke up, Ciara got with Russell Wilson, the football player, and he's, very wealthy, and helped her, I guess, evolve into a better woman, if you will, because a lot of people have drawn a correlation saying that when she was with Future, they was, smoking weed and just kind of doing the, kind of like some low, I don't know what you call it. They weren't doing so well, right? And so then when she gets with Russell, he makes her the first black female owner of a baseball team. I think they own she owns the Marlins. He bought her back her master's, and they're opening up a production studio, and he's in love with her son. So the issue is this. So the child that Future and Ciara have together, Russell has taken him on as his own. I mean, they match when they dress, and specifically recently for his birthday, the little boy's birthday, I guess his name is Future as well. Russell opines about him on this long, I guess, post. I don't know what it was on social media somewhere about how, he's everything to him, this, that, and the other. And on the other hand, Future, said one sentence, I'm paraphrasing, but happy birthday, son. You're my twin. I love you. Pretty much that was it. And so, of course, the internet doing what they do, being extra judgmental, basically was saying that Future wasn't a good dad. And, or on the other hand, Russell shouldn't be doing what he's doing with the son because it's not his son. And so let's talk about it, shall we? What do you guys think? Do you what is your knowledge? I don't even know where to go with this.
I think it's always like this. Isn't it funny how the bad boy always gets these girls or these chicks? And Ciara was, I guess, pretty successful as a singer in her own right. Then she ends up with the rapper. Then she has a baby with the rapper. Nowhere along the lines is there, marriage or anything like that. She meets the football player and he gets her all straight and everything. And, kudos up to Russell Wilson for being, that father figure that you're supposed to be. Because there's a lot of people that you could get into that family and that, I got to pick up this kid and this is mine and this is yours. How, it happens sometimes. But it's just amazing to me that, and maybe it's just maturity, where you say, well, wow, this guy's got 12 kids. I'm going to change him. I'm going to be the one that's going to save him. And then you find out, nope, not you either. And now you got it. Now you're tied to this man for the rest of your life.
Well, so I guess really the issue is it sounds like Future doesn't want to let her completely go live her life with Russell. From what I understand, and I get this from my daughter and them, he kind of takes pot shots at her and him on social media. She kind of just wants him being Future to go away so her and Russell can be a great family unit and all of that. And so I'll tell you my opinion. Let's just start with the whole birthday thing, right? My opinion is this. I don't think anybody owes the internet anything about them personally. That's my opinion. So what if Russell wrote this big long soliloquy and love story in regards to his son, which is his stepson, but he regards him as his son? Great, that's what he wanted to do. But the fact that Future didn't do it, that doesn't mean he's a bad dad. Maybe he called him on the phone. Maybe he personally saw him on his birthday and said those things to him. But my thing is this. I think people, especially us on the other side of the keyboard, we think people owe celebrities and different people owe you everything. Well, if I didn't see him do this, that, and the other on the internet, then he must don't love his son. It's like maybe that, because I always say the internet, social media is one-dimensional. You don't see what's behind the scenes. You only see what people post. And I'll give you guys a perfect example. Like I have a man, but I don't post about him a lot and all of that. Is because I'm one of those, and we used to do that a whole bunch, but I got to the point where I want to keep something for me. Like I don't think everybody needs to know everything about me, right? And so there's times where people just assume that we're not together. I'll get inboxes every once in a while. Oh, I haven't seen you guys. Are you guys still together? Yes, we're still together. Oh, I just haven't seen you, post about anything on the internet. Well, we do have a real relationship outside of Facebook, So that's kind of how I see it. I don't think Future owes anybody anything. I don't think he owes it to us to go on and on and on and on about his son for our sake.
I'm gonna say two things. That one, UGK wrote a song, like I said when we was doing the opening monologue. The coochie got you dizzy. And I'm gonna say something else. I'm gonna say this here. Hopefully I don't make no men upset. Some days we're very, very selfish. Some days we're very selfish, and you don't miss your water till your well run dry. You don't miss your water till your well run dry. So the way that I think is this. This is where the selfish part comes in. Now I'm gonna go slow for y'all that's out there that's slow. A man do things with women, especially in the bedroom. And when they break up with them, it messes with their mind. Because they get to thinking. And this is where the selfish part come in. She ain't gonna be doing all that with him. See, because then you get to remembering how they used to call her jawbone. And all the tricks she used to do. Ciara's very athletic. So I'm pretty sure she was an acrobat in the bedroom. And is really messing with Future. It ain't about the baby. Future got enough money to fly down for a birthday party. When I saw the comments, the first thing I said, well, if you got a problem with it, why you wasn't there? Ain't like you doing nothing during this pandemic. You can't perform. You can't shoot no videos, so why you wasn't there? Nobody could stop you from driving your car. You could rent whatever and get there. But I really think what all it boils down to me, I think he misses water now. You know, he didn't miss his water until his well ran dry. And then as long as we don't know her financial situation or what she was going through, but the girl blowing it out the water right now, she wasn't doing none of that with Future. So, you know, it's a little jealousy there. And it may not be aimed at just Russell. He's jealous a lot of her. You got it, Dimitri.
And you know, I agree with you 100%. And it's not just for men, you know, with women, but it's vice versa. Oftentimes, and I don't know all that went on with Future and Ciara, but when you don't treat people right, and then they end up getting with somebody who does treat them right, you often you get a chance to reflect, like, wow, that, you know, that really was a good person. I screwed over a good person or whatever, and now they're off with somebody. But I always say this too. That ex, that wasn't your man. That wasn't your woman. It never was supposed to be. That was probably supposed to be somebody else's man or woman. Ciara's just with somebody that compliments her, that brings the best out in her. And I actually wanted to address his comment. So he says, Future ain't hating Ciara and Russell Wilson are lame. And I mean, he's the dad, and this is what men need to realize.
But why would Russell be lame?
Well, because he's saying that basically, and I'm paraphrasing, but he needs to fall back and be the stepdad because little Future.
But while Future's on the road, he's not there. See, that's what these dudes get it twisted. So I'm gonna just tell you straight up. I was married twice. Kids in both marriages. When I walk through the door, I don't care who the dad is. If I'm loving the mom, I'm loving the kids. They became my kids. I knew how to play my position though. You see what I'm saying? So ain't no falling back. Not with no real man, maybe with you millennials. Cause y'all done switched the game up. How you live with women and how you do what you do. Yeah, now you done woke me up now. But ain't no falling back. No, he ain't lame. To me, it seemed like Future stalking. That's what it seemed like to me. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't have to live with somebody to co-parent. You don't have to have, and that's the problem. And I don't care what nobody tell me. You miss having a relationship with Ciara, so you trying to mess up her thing, but you can't mess up. Future, your hunters got little faces. Russell Wilson hunters got big faces, dude.
Speaking of, as a man, I've been married twice. Exactly. Dimitri will tell you, 30 years ago, I met her sister. Let it slip away. Let it slip away. I'm still trying to get it back.
But no, yeah, most definitely. I mean, and I want to take Tammy's comment. She says he's not beating her silly or cheating on her, so that makes him a lame. And it's like, yeah, I mean, I do take exception to the whole lame comment because I don't understand. Is there certain things he's supposed to do differently as a stepfather than he would a father? I mean, he's spending the most time in the home with.
Hold on a second, LJ. Let me help you out, homeboy. Let me help you out, because what you're not gonna do.
Don't block him. Don't delete him.
I don't have time for that.
But people
see all that typing, and we don't have a clue what we talking about. Bring your ass on the program.
Yeah, come on the show. But those people,
I bet he won't come on because he probably just like Future.
Right, and those people need to stay so they can learn. You know what I mean? Maybe he gonna learn something, a different perspective. But what is he supposed to do? And that's what I think men need to realize. And I try to tell this to my nephews. If you don't stay with the mother of your children, eventually she's gonna get with another man, and you're gonna be the one knocking on the door. Oh, hey, I'm here to pick up Junior today. And guess who's gonna be on the other side, opening the door and say, oh, wait a minute, it's gonna be the new dude The new dude is gonna be doing the homework, taking the kid to practices in the schools, and oh, daddy's here for you and all of that. You're gonna be the visitor. So that's something to think about. But he's supposed to treat that child like his son. Because I had a stepfather, and I'm only saying stepfather just for terminology, but that was my dad. I called him my dad. I had two dads. My dad, my second dad, I'll call him that. He did everything my dad would do. Everything. So I mean, but people like that who are like, well, I'm the stepdaddy, you my stepkids, you don't need to be in no relationship at all.
Yeah, one of the most famous father-stepfather relationship is Shaquille O'Neal. His father's running around. Shaquille made it, did it, and then father wants to show up and get the glory. But who was there for him, getting him to practice, giving him the advice? Shaquille, you ain't got a free throw. Take it to the hole, son. That was the stepdad. And you can't ask that person out because they're not the biological. I mean, if he's going to step in there and be a father, let him. There's nothing wrong with that.
I'm going to say this here, man. I was 3 months old. And according to my mom, the sperm donor left. And at 3 months old, Raymond Stevenson walked through the door and took care of me all my life. I ran into the sperm donor one time at a family function. And he was like, man, come over here. I'm your daddy. I said, you're not my daddy. My dad at home. I'm 14, 15 years old. You just can't tell me anything now, homeboy. See, my dad was at home. You may not have created me, but you took the job and you did the assignment every day. And I rode that train with that old man until I put him in the ground. And when it was time to put him in the ground, because he took care of me, this was my last time I could take care of him. I told my mama, you take that insurance policy and you keep that. I'm going to pay for him. I paid for every aspect of his funeral. He had one dying wish that if he died, because he loved to drink a slit malt liquor bull every day, he say, man, just put me under a tree and come out there and drink a beer with me every now and then. So every now and then I'm sitting in the graveyard under that tree. And that tree costs an extra $1,000. But I didn't care. Under that tree, and I go out there and I drink with my daddy. You understand what I'm saying? See, you dudes think you daddies because you shoot a little cum. You think that makes you a man. And when I think about this subject, I get mad because I think I've told y'all I raised kids that were not mine. You don't even know the attributes of being a man. Not when it comes to dealing with a woman and her kids. So ain't no such thing as falling back. And if Russell Lane, that's the type of woman that you're going to lose your woman to. That's the type of man you're going to lose your woman to. Because you little boys out here playing games, man. That's why you can't keep no women, man. You don't want to pay no bills. You want to go half on this. You're going half on a baby. Y'all some suckers, man.
Yeah, I can say for myself, being a military man, I was deployed a lot. And, me and the ex didn't work out. But she was in the military too. So, it's a very tasking thing. And my son, even though I called him and me and my son have a really good relationship, it's a distance relationship, but to him, that's normal. But the guy that was there in my absence, my son still has a relationship with him too. And there's nothing wrong with that. He's got the best of both worlds. He's getting a different perspective from a different person. And yet, guys that ain't doing it, and it's usually the guys that ain't doing what they're supposed to do, that have a problem with the brother that's either doing it and doing it better.
Let me tell you something, man. Men, we hoes. Let's just put it out there. We some hoes, man. We use our head more than we use our head. That's all it boils down to. But when it comes time to take care of your children, you fuck around too much, man. So when that woman leaves and she goes and finds somebody and he walks through the door and accepts her and that child. When you all playing Mr. Rapper, he over there playing daddy. So there will be an emotional attachment between that child and that person. You know, I'm so real with it. That ex-wife of mine wanted to increase the child support on her children's father, and I told her, "You not gonna do that." She said, "Why not?" I'm already taking care of them kids, man. No, you don't need to do that. You see what I'm saying? It is what it is. If you want her, you keep her. You lose her, move the fuck on. Move on. And that's it for me. You just move on. But that stalking and all on social media with that shit, man, come on. That ain't player, dog.
You know, and I would say this, especially for men like Future. Again, I don't know a whole lot about him, but from what I understand, I think men like that never expect for the woman they're dealing with and the woman they're screwing over to move on, and they never expect for her to move on and do better. So when he sees that she's done that, then he's gonna throw a monkey wrench in it. Oh, he ain't this. Oh, I don't want him saying this and that to my son. That's my son. But it's like you didn't do what you needed to do to stay in her life and in your child's life. But now that she's with somebody who is, you know, elevating her, because that's what two people are supposed to do. They're supposed to elevate each other. They're supposed to bring the best out in each other. But he wasn't able to do that with her. And that she got with somebody that's doing that. Now he wants to be a jerk about it. That's not how it works. Better luck next time. Maybe the next woman you get with, maybe you'll treat her right. But that's all it is. He just never expected her to. He always thought, because that's how, I'm just speaking from a woman's point of view. Most men like that who take women through the stuff, they never expect for her to leave, because especially us as Black women, like we put up with a whole lot. And then when that day comes and when we've had enough, then it just blows their mind. I've had men, you know, low key stalk me, or you know, I'm gonna do right. No, you're not. You ain't. I'm over it, right? And so they don't want to see you do better, and so they end up doing stuff like stalking you and trying to make your life hell.
It's the expectation sometimes. See, he expected her to be with somebody, but he didn't expect her to be with a Russell Wilson type. He didn't expect her to be with a multimillionaire that had more money than him. He didn't expect her to make the moves that she made once he was gone. See, in all actuality, Future, if you never walk back through the door, she doesn't care and don't need you. Matter of fact, she don't need you or Russell. She can do what she do. You know, but while you out here and you loving your son and you hating all this, whatever that y'all want to call it, you steady messing with that girl and that dude, man. And you know what's killing him more than anything? Russell won't respond to him. That's player, dog. Russell won't respond to him. He don't, and that's why he keeps saying something, because he wants a response. And Russell will not respond to him.
It's actions, not words. It's actions, not words. That's exactly what's killing him. But Tremaine Emerson says, Jerry Wayne Monroe, please address the fathers who all of a sudden want to pop back in the child's life once they're fully grown, as if they've never left. Now, I'm going to say this. If that father pops back up, which he should, his side of the story, because a lot of kids are out there and they hate their father. And, you know, I was in the military, I had this one kid and he was just like, oh, my dad ain't shit, whatever deals. And I said, well, why are you saying your dad ain't shit? Number one, the child shouldn't even know his dad ain't shit, you know, whatever. I said, you know, what's the situation? Well, my mama told me this is that. And basically he was brainwashed. So the father should be given a chance to explain his side, be it good, be it bad. Now, if he's coming back and he was a dirtbag all those years and he wants to make right, leave that up to the child to decide, because sometimes you just got to leave stuff in the past and you just move on. It's, you know, sometimes I hear fathers say, hey, you know, you're 21 years old. Those years that I didn't even know you were my child, we'll never get those years back, but we can move forward from this point on. So I think every father should be given that chance to explain their side of the story if there's a side to be explained.
LJ DeLeon say that's the whole point. As a man, he needs to have a conversation. You don't need to have no conversation with Future, man. One, your child is in no danger. Two, there's nothing that this man is doing that you need to have a conversation with him about. You need to have a conversation with the mama. And really, your conversation needs to be limited from about 9 to 5, only on the times that you need to talk to her about the child. You don't need to be having no conversation with them people. If that's the case, why don't somebody have some conversation with all them girls he done had babies with since he left Ciara? Since you missed this one so much. But you know what I noticed? He don't do that to them other baby mamas. He don't do it to them.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. What does Russell need to have a conversation with Future about? Future's acting hella stupid all the time on the internet, throwing shots at me. Like, Russell's doing what he's supposed to be doing. He's focusing on his family. That's what he's supposed to be doing. But that's what I said. This whole internet thing got people's brains booted. Like we're all involved in that. We're more involved than Russell's involved. He's out there making money and making moves, making babies, making his woman happy, making his children happy. What the hell he need to stoop down and have a conversation with Future for? Why does he need to do that?
If he's concerned with what happened at that party, then why wasn't he there? Why didn't you get with mom, co-parent like you're supposed to, coordinate to make some things happen, and get your behind to your baby party? No pandemic, no nothing would stop you if you was real going to get to your kid party. That's all it boiled down to. That's why I'm telling you, these youngsters, y'all got it messed up, man. That stay in the projects and see if you can make them, drop it like it's hot. Because ain't no real woman gonna put up with that foolishness, man. And what y'all think y'all got, them ain't real women. Because ain't no real woman gonna be putting up with no foolishness, man.
And what I want to know too, really quick, is why, LJ, why are you defending, somebody like Future? Like, I don't know all he does, but why are you putting more emphasis on his feelings and what should happen with him than a man who's taking care of his child? Like, Future is about the foolishness. Russell was out there. Actually, I mean, the little boy looks like he really loves Future. It doesn't look like, he's having a problem with it. So, yeah, why would Future stoop down? I mean, Russell stooped down to Future. For what? That's a waste.
Because he big bad Future.
And
he big bad Future. Get your money up, man, before you go over there talking to Russell, man.
I can say this. Future happens, just like the general was saying, alleging, when you're a man that's taking care of your woman that good, that brother, he ain't got no complaints when it comes to Ciara in the bedroom. He ain't got, I know it. He ain't got no complaints. That's why he doesn't need to say a word.
Bottom line is this here, man. And I keep saying it in a lot of different discussions. You youngsters think that what you do is normal. You think what you do is right. No, bro, I'm sorry. No. If anything, he needs to respect that dude. That dude is taking care of your son every day. He's taking care of your kid every day. And there is no respect. I met the wife. I'm gonna say what's so crazy. This how we operated in the last marriage. She had 2 kids, right? There was an issue at school with one of the kids. So I picked up the phone. I called the kid daddy because I knew the dad. Knew him. Say, man, we got an issue. We need to meet at the school in the morning. The kid walked through the front door of the school. The mama walked through the front door of the school. The stepdad and me walked through the front door of the school. And the real daddy walked through the front door of the school. And when we walked in there, we was all on the same page. See, y'all can't do that nowadays. You're too busy with the drama. You're too big. It's always some baby mama drama and all that. Man, go do what y'all do. Smoke that marijuana with that powdery sugar in it or whatever y'all do. That's why y'all don't know nothing, because your mind messed up.
Forgive me. I hope ain't no children watching, but for lack of better words, Future is a fuck boy. Okay. That's what he is. I'm only gonna say that one time, okay? That's what he is. And LJ, no shade to you. I'm not saying anything about you, but that's the behavior that's being defended. I mean, as many have said, he's got plenty of children, had plenty of children after her. And it's like, from what I understand, there was a couple of women out there have to force him to have a DNA test, and he ain't paying child support. So it's like, why does he? Well, I'm with Russell. Future who? Who? He needs to be shunned until he gets the stuff together.
And usually fathers that act like that, they act like that because they know they ain't doing what they're supposed to do.
You got a lot of single women on this thread, a lot of different age brackets. So I'm not gonna switch it up, but I mean, because I get confused, and when I'm confused, I ask questions. Ladies, what is the difference, especially the single ladies, between the man of today and the man of 30 years ago? Let's compare these young boys to us old motherfuckers.
As a woman, that's only 30. I'm just kidding. You know what? The difference between the boys, or the men of today and the men of 30 years ago is us. Because our generation, raised them. It's just a fact. We raised these men to be who they are. A lot of them. And I'm going to speak from a mother's point of view. A lot of us mothers, I don't have any sons, but I know women who do. That's their king. That's my prince. This my dad. He can't do this. And oh, he too cute to do that. And oh no, he don't wash no dishes. He don't take out the trash. And like a lot of women put a lot of cosmetics into the son, but they don't put a whole lot of like substance inside of him. Or if they're a single mom, they don't have men come into their life that it can impart wisdom and manhood upon them. And so I believe that's the difference. I believe, they're not being taught what people our age and our parents were taught. Donovan and I was just having a conversation. I'll let him tell it why he wasn't here yesterday.
Oh man, and Demetria, do I not complain about that all the time?
I'm gonna tell you this here, LJ. I don't know if you shot a slug at me. If you were single, maybe. This is what he said. If I was single, maybe you were the problem. Ever thought of that? Now I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna delete you, homeboy. You could not walk an inch in my shoes. Let's get this straight, bruh. My wives did not have to work. They chose to run their own businesses. When I met them, I had my own everything. They did not have to live in their mama's house with Gary Monroe. Let's get something straight, homeboy. They didn't have to do none of that. And those that know me personally, they know I'm not lying. 4 cars in the driveway, I paid all them car notes. Mortgage note $2,200 a month, I paid that. I paid the light bill. I paid the water bill. That wasn't her job. Before you ever step up to the plate and have a conversation with a grown man, figure out that what it takes to be a man. When you can financially take care of yourself, then it is what it is. So never, partner, never. And to get you straight, I was married 17 years. And when I got sick and we were divorced, my ex-wife went against the grain and told her husband, I'm going to be there for that man because he was there for me for 17 years. He took care of me. And if he's sick and he can't take care of himself, I'm going to take care of him. I'm going to do what I got to do to help him. See, you young boys, all you want is the coochie. That's all you want. It's cool if that's all you want, but that's all you're gonna get out the deal. But you don't even know how to walk up to a high-powered woman. You don't even know how to walk up to an independent woman and have that conversation because you're too busy playing schoolyard games, man.
You know, I don't know if he was talking about you necessarily, but I'm with a lot of the people. I don't think he needs to be deleted. I think he needs to stay, you know, and be able to have this conversation. So I don't know if he was talking about
he wants to come on the show, but what he wants to do is say what he say and leave. Don't work like that, homeboy.
Well,
You sit here and dialogue with us. See, that's that kid shit again. You want to come on, sit your ass here and listen, youngster.
I want to address something somebody said. They said that isn't all on us, that the men of today are the way they are. I wouldn't say it's all on us, but I think it has a lot to do with us. I mean, my dad wasn't like that. Hell, my mom, with my dad and my second dad, my mom didn't work. She didn't have to, you know, and she had a nursing license. She was a full-fledged nurse, but she didn't have to work. They were raised differently then. Not to say, you know, about being a stay-at-home mom, just making an example. You know, a lot of these, I tell you guys all the time, my daughter's 27 and she's single. She says, I just can't see dating some of these men out there because they act like they just do the most. The lying, the cheating, just all of that. So she's like, I'd rather travel and be single. And when it happens, right? But a lot of that is on us. And that's, you know how I used to say, who raised you? We did. Go ahead, Donovan.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't delete him. Just leave him on the show. He needs to be on the show. But yeah, so I went down to my aunt's yesterday to drop off a bottle of some watermelon sauce. You can get it. I put the link up on the link, and I'm telling you, I wasn't a believer. I'm a believer. I took it to my aunt. Okay, so I'm down there. I'm just gonna drop it off real quick, and I have a 16-year-old cousin that is in there in the back, and they're putting in a 500-gallon pool, and they're just putting the pump part on, just the pump part. The directions are there and everything. Do you guys know this young man who's around, who has two uncles and his grandfather, my uncle, who know about tools? He didn't even know what a pliers was. And then I said, you know, I'm pointing stuff out to him to kind of help him. And I'm trying to tell other kids to sit there and watch me. And it was apparent that this boy, I mean, I didn't give up on him. He had no indication to do anything but play the music. He's on his phone. I mean, I saw nothing but feminine ways. Now, in his defense, he's being raised, he has a single mom, but he's being raised by his grandparents, actually. And I'm sitting there trying to show him what was going on. I ended up staying there because, you know, my aunt asked me to do it. So I said, okay, let me just finish it and get it. So I couldn't get back in time. But that's what we're raising. Currently, these young people are not challenged to do anything. He didn't know what a pliers was. He couldn't comprehend the instructions, anything like that. And I was just in shock. And it took me to do the pump. It took me about 30 minutes, and then do everything else was another thing. So, we have a real problem going on with our young men and these boys that don't have fathers that are going to take the time to interact with them.
Most of them don't know how to do nothing but eat, sleep, and shit, and play video games. Dimitri.
I agree. I agree that this is a whole different breed of men and women. To be honest with you, I mean, I talk about it all the time. It's amazing that a lot of girls, now they're girls to me, in their 20s, and so they don't even know the fundamentals about being a mom or keeping a house clean or cooking and all that other stuff. And I say it's us. It's our generation who have somehow dropped the ball on them. I mean, it's just the fact that we can, try to argue and say, I mean, because who else was responsible for raising them and teaching the things that they're supposed to know? We talk about the millennials. That's what we're talking about. And there's a lot of them in our generation as well. I mean, I don't know. like I said, I just feel sorry for my daughter and her generation. You know, because I was 21 when I had her. My daughter doesn't have any kids or any of that stuff. And she says, I'm not going to until I find somebody or they find me. And they not even that they got to be rich and nothing like that, which would be nice. But just like, is it too much to ask that you don't cheat on me? You know, and lie and all. Like, really, is that too much to ask? You know, and so there's a lot of young women her age are just like, I'm good. I might not get a Russell, but I damn sure don't want no future. So I'm gonna be single until that time comes.
And that's my question. When it comes to future, what woman, I mean, other than knowing that he has money, which having all those kids, he won't have it very long, would even deal with the guy that has multiple children like that, especially if I'm in my early 20s and this guy's got 3 kids already and he's not a grown man?
Well, let them tell it he grown. But like I said, when it's over, move on, bruh. Move on. The only conversations you need to have if it pertains to the child. And that's what it is. But I love the way Russell handles him. You know, when if I go back and I look at the way some dudes are built, even when Pac said that he slept with Biggie's wife, Biggie never addressed him. And that made him so angry. You see it, you see the same thing happening here. Everybody not gonna play your game. That's just all what it boils down to. So if you want to keep stalking, you want to keep talking down, then it is what it is. The only problem is when that air and that opportunity cease to exist and you end up face to face, you might have a problem. You just might have a problem.
LJ, you say, but y'all rallying about men being with women with a bunch of kids, double standard. I mean, well, it's the same other way around too. I mean, we're actually talking about everybody, but I mean, it's the same thing. It's the same thing other way around. I mean, I don't even know where else to go with that. Y'all rallying about men being with women with a bunch of kids. I mean,
well, if you're gonna have all them goddamn kids, take care of them. Well, why
Exactly.
see, that's another question. Why these celebrities all up in the courtroom with the child support, man? When Young Jesus went to court, lying, telling them people he ain't had no money. Right when he signed a deal with Def Jam, got $1 million signing bonus. You tell them people you ain't got no money. If you don't want to pay that child support, say, man, stop having all them kids, dude. I really wish you would, because I'm sick of my taxes getting raped to take care of your kids. When the only thing you invested in is an hour at the motel. You won't even get a condom.
Courtney Chappell says, I need an answer as to why a man who doesn't know how to use a tool isn't considered a man. I think that answers itself. So think about it, you're a man, you got a house, right? You bring your woman in, you're bringing your kids in, the house is falling apart. Now, if you're jingling like that and you can pay somebody to fix it up, more power to you. But the basic tenets of a man is to work. That's the basic tenets. So if you can't differentiate how to use a tool, then the whole community falls apart. And that differentiates, in my opinion, a man from a boy, from a girl, from alternative lifestyle.
Say, man, when you meet the woman, you expect her to do certain things. You expect her to be able to cook. When they can't cook, you got a problem with it. So if something needs to be fixed in the house, go fix it, dude. If you can't fix it, get somebody to come fix it, man. But you definitely can't just let it be there and just be tore up. And see, that's the problem. You youngsters don't know what it takes to be a man. You think it's just laying up with these women, man. And the ones who sitting there, oh, my wife watching this, she laughing. That's because she ignorant too. And she good with it. Because she the one probably changed the flat on the car when you get one.
Or she's the one pumping the gas. Dimitri, I'll tell you, I retired from the military, and I got a lot of my mechanical experience from my brother and from the military, taught me. And I tore my house completely down and rebuilt it by myself. And I'm still doing this and that, and nicks and knacks. And I'm going to tell you this. I'm 50 years old. Other women around my age that see what I can do, I get those calls. Trust me, I get those calls.
And I want to, Courtney, I just want to try to clarify it a little bit. I think what Donovan and Gary are trying to say is nowadays men aren't as industrious as they used to be. Men, I think about my father who was a mechanic for all of his life. And I'm telling you, Donovan is my friend of over 30 years. And I have seen this man take his house, completely remodel it damn near by himself. I'm talking about snatching out kitchens and bathrooms and putting up stuff outside and the roof and this, that, fans, you name it. If I need my car fixed, I pull it right over to his house and he'll take care of it. They don't make them like they used to. It's just a fact.
It's this little disrespectful boys say, I really do need to set you straight, Ferry, for the young culture. Well, I tell you what, when y'all can stop dying before you turn 25, we can have a conversation. See, I don't need Gucci. I got these, homeboy. I got these. That means I done lived a long time. Now, when you can live to be this age, then we can have a conversation. Until then, set your Similac drinking ass down somewhere.
He meant Gary.
He called me whatever he want.
Oh, he was a typo.
I tell you this here. He called me whatever he want. When you don't have to get out to bed till 1 and 2 o'clock in the evening because your money's straight. When all you do is ride around in your 300 because your money's straight, we can have a conversation. But until then, please go punch your clock. Because I don't do that.
Woo, that typo. I was kind of like, wait a minute now, what? And then I saw he said Gary. I was like, whoo.
Yeah, that was just a typo.
But yeah, so again, I'm not, and I know because my daughter, always says y'all talk down of our generation, but you guys raised us, and I agree with her. So we just need to figure out how to stop what's already in the works, right?
Right. But DC now, and I agree with what she's saying, but it's just like when we talk politics and everybody's like, oh, Donovan, you're always, at the last minute. We can't sugarcoat it no more. We've been doing that too long. We got to just say it as it is. And if your feelings get hurt, they just get hurt. But the truth has to be told.
We got a lot of issues with raising our boys. See, and I don't want nobody to flip it. Well, we got a lot of issues raising our girls. We ain't talking about that right now. See, we don't have a problem demasculating our boys. We don't have a problem making them soft. See, back in the day, all that staying up in the house, as long as you can social distance, my mom would have put me out this house and told me don't come back till later on in the evening. That's how we had to do. That's why we learned how to be great athletes, because all we did was play sports outside. I had an uncle. I hated going to his house on the weekend because I already knew 6 o'clock on a Saturday we was up, we was working. We were pulling carpet up. We were doing all kinds of stuff. You don't have inside of you what we have inside of us. And you youngsters think, and this is the biggest problem for me to y'all, you think that you can tell us what to do. You know how to do this better than me. No, you don't. Because the first thing, when you're out in the streets, I would never sell a pill for $2. That's the first thing. Y'all trick off all your money. See, back in the day, if you was a real hustler, you ain't trick it off. You trick off all your money. Everything is a fashion show. That's why you running through these pandemics and you're struggling now. Say, man, y'all be young and stupid. We'll keep burying y'all. We're going to be old and smart, and we'll stay here another 30, 40 years. While y'all going, they be dumping y'all in the ground tomorrow, man.
I mean, there, you know, in fairness to the millennials, there's a lot of them that are game changers, but there's a lot of them who are just, you know, with the fuck boy shit. I'm sorry, I'm a cuss today, y'all. They just with the shit.
They fuck boys. They fuck boys because some of them truly are fuck boys. They not men. They undercover with their sexuality. That's why they get so offended when they get in conversation with real men.
I 100% agree with you, and I will say this because I'm very close to a lot of in the younger generation. Don't want you to say nothing to them. They know everything and won't do nothing. Nothing at all. It's like I was always told, when wisdom speaks, take notes, listen. But they got so much to say. I see a couple of dudes on here now defending fuckboy culture. Like, no man worth his weight on this post should be defending anything Future is doing. In fact, you guys should be saying he should be shunned until he gets his stuff together. But y'all take more exception to what Russell is doing than you do Future. Russell is doing what he's supposed to be doing. He's a good husband from what we see and a good father to all of those children. And y'all want to call him soft or he out of line? Y'all need to check yourselves. And until you do, if you ain't already, don't get into a relationship with a woman with your ideology, because you're just going to ruin that relationship because you ain't ready.
Courtney says, this is the problem. There's a generation gap, and the older men talk down and confuse us from being different from y'all as being weak. Let me tell you about me. I'm not going to preach the sermon every day. I have a philosophy, and I'm dead serious. People have heard me say it. I retarded, I so retarded. When I tell you something, and I say it slow, and I know you got it, you either get it or you retarded. So ain't nobody finna keep preaching these sermons to you youngsters, man. When we take the time to try to talk to y'all, it ain't us talking down to you. It's y'all refusing to listen. And you think you know everything. Why do you think that all of a sudden sexually transmitted diseases went through the roof? We started telling y'all to put a rubber on, man. But y'all want to lay around here and sleep with everybody. Right now, you don't see no seniors out there with all this, I got to get to the club Friday night, and we're in the middle of a pandemic. It's you youngsters, man.
The younger generation's got to remember, when we were your age, what do you think we were saying to the older generation too? But the difference was respect. You didn't have to agree with them, but you listened, took what you needed to take, and you went about your business. But just like the general says, what's that old saying, Demetra? There's a lot of dead young geniuses, but everybody else is an old fool.
I mean, that's
you know what I liked about, we had the minister on the show one night, and we basically just sat back and shut our mouths. We just listened. Y'all don't get to run the conversation. And if you feel like you got to run the conversation, then I ain't got the time to talk to you. You know what, man? I'm gonna put this dude last comment up because I'm tired of helping you build your platform. You lost a lot of respect for me with this one. You have no clue except your part in all of this. Well, guess what? I raised 5 kids that were not for me. I took care of 5 kids, lock, stock, and barrel. So I guess I was Russell Wilson. Never questioned it, just did the job. And I tell you what's amazing. When I got sick, young man, them 5 kids was the one that took care of me, homeboy. They knew who their daddy was, but they took care of the man that took care of them. And I don't bother their moms. I don't have a need to call them girls no more. But I still have a relationship with the kids. If Future steady bumping in my That's because you're jealous, and it is what it is, and whoever you messing with has not even lived up to Ciara's standards.
Right. And, he goes on to say, nah, Jerry, don't want to hear a difference. You just proved Jerry's point right there. And Mr. DeLeon, I think you said in the comments that you're married. I hope your wife is not seeing any of this that you're saying on this thread, because if she is and she continues to stay with you, she is going to be in a world of hurt. And I'm not saying that to be disrespectful. I'm just talking truth to you, brother.
And you know what, Donovan, you read my mind. I was thinking the whole time I saw his comments come up, I was thinking the whole thing. And the other thing with a lot of, and I'm going to say this to a lot of men in your age group, LJ, is y'all don't have coping skills and you don't have the ability to just listen. Because I saw you saying part of a comment a while ago that, you basically, I'm paraphrasing, but Gary pissed you off. Why are you in your emotions for? We're having a discussion. Why are you to the point to where you're pissed off? And you're not speaking facts. You're speaking emotions. You got all these grown people. You say you're 28. You still got a lot to go. I'm not going to disrespect you in that way, but I mean, we got a lot of people on here who've been there and done that. But yet, instead of you just taking a seat and taking notes, you're going to try to out-comment everybody on the panel. Just listen. I don't understand.
I think Al Jackson said it best. All you youngsters under 30 years old, please go to Netflix or your streaming service and watch the movie Claudine. Roop took care of all Claudine kids. Thank you, Al. He took care of all Claudine's kids. Y'all go watch. That is a great tool for you to watch. And, hopefully one day you will wake up. And I'm going to tell you the scary part when you mention his wife. Ma'am, you will learn who your husband is. Not when he's in your company speaking directly to you, but when you catch him having just outside conversations. Be careful. Who your husband, what you seeing today might be the real one.
You know what, though? And I know we're kind of giving him a hard time or whatever, but it really is all in love. Hopefully you're learning something. But, I think Donovan made a great point, and you did too, Gary. I mean, I hope you're not embracing that ideology in the relationship you're in. Please do not ever defend a man like Future. Because if you do, and the young woman that's in your life, I hope her eyes are wide open. I'm pretty much an equal opportunity in everything, especially when it comes to men and women. But y'all on here defending Future.
You got some people wanting us to bring LJ on. I said, and I'm gonna say it again. We don't have a problem bringing him on. You don't get to come on and rant and rave, then click the button and get off. No, you're going to sit your young ass here and get spanked. So if you want to come on, if you agree to that, we get to spank you too. Because you're going to learn something today, youngster, if you want to come on. But no, you don't just get to come on and run off. No.
Well, LJ, I will agree with you that you do have to be a little bit of a narcissist to get on in front of everybody and speak your mind. So I'll concede that point to you. But I think what we're saying is, men like Russell and to Courtney, because I see you're taking exception saying that we're our thought process is biased, of course, because the conversation is really a compare and contrast between Future and Russell. And we're saying in life, men, since we're speaking about men in life, strive to be a Russell and not a Future. Now, anybody got a problem with that? I don't know what else to tell you. Just ain't you ain't open.
Man, I'm gonna step on the toes some more. The man profile saved from ATL. I don't know who I'm talking to right now. I'm gonna leave it right there. I might be talking to the wife.
Well, I'll just say this again. Every generation goes through it, but I think that the respect level had stopped with my generation, because they do say Generation Xers are more like their baby boomers were the last generation to emulate our parents. And that's always been the problem. And I find that happening in young men if an older person, even in the military, if I'm the sergeant and I tell you to shut the fuck up, that's it. A man just, that's it. He shuts you down. That's it. In the gang, I've never been in a gang, but I think it's kind of works the same way in that situation too. The top dog, you shut the fuck up. You shut the fuck up. But the feminization of men nowadays, they want to have the last word, just like a woman that just keeps yapping. I gotta have the last word. I gotta have the last word. No, sometimes just take it in. You ain't got to believe a thing, but just take it in. And guess what? In 20, 30 years, if you're lucky and you make it to be 50 in your 50s, you're going to be in deja vu as a younger person tries to tell you what's going on and how it is and what all the other stuff. Nothing's changed. It's just time always goes on. So, I'm kind of sorry that, you're in your feelings, because I'm going to tell you one thing. A real man doesn't get in his feelings. Sorry.
So Norma Rose, let me take Norma Rose's question. She says, you have no idea how Russell Wilson and Ciara's relationship is behind closed doors. It's very immature to have a marriage goals based off of a blog. Let's talk about reality. Ma'am, why are you divorced? So I'm assuming she's talking to me. So I don't know if you watched the beginning of the show. We said we don't know all that goes on behind closed doors. And I said, we know that social media is one-dimensional. So we don't know all the dynamics that go on. And as far as why I'm divorced, since I've never made that an issue, and if you're talking to me, I don't know if you're talking to me, that's really none of your business. First of all, but just know I got a ring on my finger. Now,
I'd have felt better if they shot at me. Because I'm the fucking poster boy for being a fucked up husband. Oh, you can stand in your truth on Mr. Monroe. Oh, yeah, y'all want to talk? I can tell you everything these youngsters doing wrong because I did it. Because I did it. That's why I'm willing to teach them. But you ain't willing to listen.
Tori MacGyver says, Generation Xers are now the pillars. We have the pressure from the bottom and the top. I'm going to have to disagree with you, because to be pillars, you got to be strong, means you got to have money. I'm sorry. Yeah, no, I'm correct. No, I'm a generationer. Yeah, we are now the pillars. We have the pressure from the bottom and the top. I don't know what, how do we have pressure from the bottom? That's where I'm getting confused. The top, obviously, because our parents won't retire. And so all those lucrative jobs that are now going to be gone is because of our parents. But this is where the millennials are having problems too, because now the generations are being stacked. So I agree with you. I'm sorry. I didn't read that right.
Wait, hold on. I got some. So Norma Rose is actually LJ's wife.
Wow. So which one of these cowards gonna show up? I said send me your email address.
He went and got his wife to help fight his battles.
That's what they normally do.
Feminized men, you usually do that. Feminized, they hide behind the skirt. Yeah, they hide behind the skirt.
I said, I need your email address, and you ain't sent it yet. Which one of you cowards coming? You don't say, bruh, I deal with these youngsters every day. Which one of you cowards gonna show up? And I would never send my wife to fight a battle for me, whether it's social media or not.
I would be embarrassed right now. I would have signed off by right about now. If my wife or my mama had to jump in on my conversations or my battles, I mean, you proved our point. You proved it.
Give me a minute. Give me a minute.
But am I right though? I mean, I'm serious. He's proven our point by the actions that he's doing. And a lot of young men are just like this guy. And he calls himself a man.
See, that's what I'm talking about. All that talking they doing. Man, send me that email address. If not, shut your mouth, man. You don't send your wife to fight your battle, boy. If you was my son, I'd spank your ass right now. Don't send your wife to this fight, man. Get your grown ass up in here. Man, all that talking, send me that email address, man.
And he's a teacher. And he's a teacher. That's his vocation. So I'm
we in trouble then. Man, I'm definitely gonna. I purged about 200 people yesterday off my page, and it's some folk on here, man. You got to go, man. You got to go tonight, man. Let me tell you something, man. My school's fucked up, the streets fucked up, everything fucked up, fucking with you youngsters, man. And I saw it coming 30 years ago in the dope game. That's why I got out. All that talking, LJ. Come on, man. Put the email up, dog.
I'm just waiting.
Ain't nothing in my inbox, homeboy. Put that email up, man. I knew you was a coward.
He says it's in your inbox.
Man, please, man. This man, he need to come on, man. I'm at Gary Wayne Monroe. Maybe you on the wrong page. Jump on that page, baby.
Right.
I ain't finna be switching over. Come on with it. Or just post it in here. Your wife scared these beautiful women gonna send you some emails. Or maybe you scared that these beautiful men gonna send you something. Come on, partner.
Yes. So ladies, let this be a teachable moment. If you got a man that does this type of behavior and is out there defending a man that doesn't take care of his children or doesn't like the fact that a man is taking care of the children better than he is doing, y'all need to avoid that man. Just avoid it.
All right, I've composed myself. I would just say this: if you, just listen, just learn to take advice. Like, I'm 49, I don't know everything. There's a lot I don't know, but when somebody's imparting wisdom on me, I listen. He put his email up right here on the screen. When somebody's, giving me some information, I listen. I don't be, and I want to say this too, Donovan, you hit on a good point. I've never in my life, I have to turn my fan on because I got half laughing. Never in my life seen a generation of boys or men that just
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello? Oh man, I can't.
We hear you.
We can hear you. We can hear you.
I couldn't hear you when I went over. Hold on a second. Let me see if you can hear me. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. Tell me that email. Because I can't see the screen.
Okay, so it's LEJERIN1234 @gmail.com.
Hold on. LEJERINZORN1234 @gmail.com.
Correct.
It's gone. Come on, bring your young ass on up in here, man.
But yeah, but Dimitri, that is a phenomenon going on now. We have a whole generation of men who are picking up mannerisms of their mothers and their aunts and their grandma and big mama and all of them, and that's what's happening. I mean, they won't stop talking. They go on emotion more so than logic.
Here we go. Can y'all hear me now? All right, Karita Cheek says spouses have each other's back. Karita, I beg to differ. If you're a man, you don't bring your wife to a fight that you supposed to handle. That's all it boils. See, that's that new way of thinking. Back in the day, I had an uncle that was 6'7", disrespect his wife. If he needed to go to that fight, he went on his own. And that's what it was. See, we changed the rules of everything. We have to accommodate ourselves to the rule changes. You see what I'm saying? A whole bunch of things that change nowadays, but we need to accommodate ourselves. But these motherfuckers can't live past 25. Man, not Gary Monroe. Ain't gonna happen.
No, and another problem with that, Karita, is when women buy into that, that's when y'all have to go out there and get a job.
Hey, you're giving the flow.
Oh yeah, I'm here. So first of all, let's take a look here. I'm sitting at 20, 21, almost 2,200 square feet right here. This mine, my name on this. And I'm sitting, if you see that, you can't see the road from my house. I don't have no neighbors because I'm too far away from them. I'm 28 years old. You see that vehicle right there? I dropped the transmission and the motor and I changed all of it out. You see this yard right here? Don't nobody cultivate the soil but me. I don't know what y'all talking about the youth. The people I associate myself with know what they doing, and they do the same thing I do. We young, black go-getters. Y'all's problem is y'all don't know how to shut the hell up sometime and listen from the bottom up. No, don't speak over me. You don't know how to listen from the bottom up.
2,200 square feet. That's the size of a 3-bedroom apartment. When you can live in 4,500 square feet like me, youngster, then we can have a conversation.
You talking about the size of a 3-bedroom apartment. You tripping.
2,200 square feet. It's a box.
You tripping. You
know what I respect about it? It's your box.
So let me get this straight.
I'm not even speaking in your direction because you talking about you. I'm not even speaking in your direction, sir, because you talking about what kind of man would bring his wife on the show, this, that, and the third. A man with a wife. Go find one. Now, my problem with you is you sat there and you said, "Oh, any man who would say this, I hope his wife is not watching." That is why she came on. Don't give me excuses. Like I said, ignorance is bliss, and that's what you're living in. Get your life right.
Start with your future comment. Justified.
Justify my future comment? My future comment is listen to what I had to say. I'm 28 years old, right?
And I'm 52. Sit your young ass down.
No, stop talking.
No, I ain't gonna stop talking.
My stepfather and my mother have been married for 28 years. No, see, that's what I'm talking about. You don't know how to listen.
Me to shut up. Respect
I ain't gonna tell you to shut up. But the simple fact is, you're talking to somebody who has had a stepfather since his mother was pregnant with them. I was not disrespecting stepfathers. What I was saying was he's lame because he won't sit down and have a conversation. My stepfather and my father was best friends, fishing buddies. Because they had a conversation and my stepfather had a conversation with me. And by the way, I don't mention my stepfather as my stepfather. That's my daddy. But anyway, what I'm saying is my stepfather sat down and had a conversation with me. He said, I will never be your father, but I will always be the best man and show you everything. He showed me how to play baseball. He was my coach for baseball. My father had an aneurysm when I was 8 years old. My stepfather was there the whole time. I got 3 other brothers and sisters that was in the household with me. I'm not talking about people stepping in and being a father or a daddy to a kid. I'm talking about one that will sit there and go public with the good things they do. You know what they say? You don't have to post what you do for somebody out of the goodness of your heart. You can leave that said and undone. You picking when you do that. That's lame. That is why I said the lame comment. So if you want justification, that's justification for your ass.
First thing first.
You're gonna sit there and say you had children. How would you like it? How would you like it if the stepdaddy of your children that was with them other women was going online and posting shit so you could see it all the time? You would have an attitude about it too.
I listened to you. You did good. I sat there and I listened. Now sit your ass there and listen to me.
I'm right here with you. I don't
there you go again.
That's what we're talking about. That's what we were talking about.
No, like I said, you're obsolete to this whole conversation because you have no brain. And you damn right I'm a teacher. That's what I do for a living. And I empower young minds. I don't speak down on them. That's the problem in the black community. Go back. Let's go back. Let's go back to slavery. That's where we come from. Belittling. That's where we come from. Oppression. So why would you do it to your own community? History is in the books. They said they put history in books so Negroes won't have no knowledge. Come on, get with me, man.
Well,
You are reliving history itself. What do you think happens to somebody when you sit there and tell them, oh, y'all know how to get out there and work on cars. Y'all know how to do this. Y'all know how to do that. No, I bet you I would run tables around your ass when it comes to mechanic work.
I'm going to keep talking over you. I allowed you to speak. I didn't open my old ass mouth.
That's okay.
Shut your young ass mouth.
That's okay. Bullshit dissipates. I promise.
Shut your young ass mouth. That's why y'all
okay. Young educated mouth.
Now,
young educated mouth.
The problem is, son, is when I'm talking and I didn't disrespect you, give me the same respect. You just don't respect me.
And I got quiet, and your buddy over here got started talking. He just need to shut the hell up. That's the problem. He's the problem. You need to take him off your show. Your ratings will go up if you kick him off the show.
I'm gonna show you.
I was telling my wife that, as a matter of fact, on the last show. I said,
I'll show you who can get off this show.
There you go. That proves the feminized black male. Right there.
That's exactly right.
That's the feminized black male.
You can't get a word in there. It's why just woo, 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 woo. That I don't even know a lot of women who act like that.
Let me tell y'all something. You know, all this, I'm a teacher and I do that. Well, if you teach it so fucking well, why I gotta keep coming to these school board meetings? If you're in Atlanta and you're a teacher, how the fuck everybody go to jail if you're doing what you're supposed to do? Say, man, you youngsters, shut your fucking mouth, man. Shut your mouth. That's why y'all die every day. Because you don't know shit.
Well, you know, I'm looking at the comments. People say that this wasn't a bad idea. No, this exactly was a good idea because it shows you the difference in older generation and the younger generation. We let him sit there and floss his nice little house, his car, and explain himself without interrupting him. Then when we tried to say something, he's jumping in and no disrespect to females. Oh, he's got to have the last word. And it's like we couldn't have a conversation.
We don't never need to compare what we got to what you think somebody got. I said 2,200 square feet. Honestly, that's a 3-bedroom apartment in Houston. Mimi Lyndon Campbell, she's been to my home. She came to my house. I'm 4,500 square feet, homeboy. We don't need to get to capping about what we got. The issue is, it's a perfect example of what the problem is. As an old head, I want to learn. So I sat there and I listened. Now, when it's my time to talk, you want to jump all over my conversation. Man, go out there into your fucked up school system and your fucked up community in Atlanta and keep uplifting the minds. But if you were doing what you were supposed to do, your school system wouldn't be messed up. Don't never come at me, homeboy, because what you make in a year being a teacher, I'm going to make that next month. Don't get it twisted. And I ain't got a cap about my yard and my car. Then you got a nice car. Would you like to see the black on black 300 on the 24 sitting in the garage? Partner, don't go there with me. I'm old school. I don't cap by what I got. When your zeros get up, it is what it is, man. You disrespectful, and that's your fucking problem.
Karita, I think that's how you say her name. She says you don't let people speak. Well, I don't know what show you were watching, but he had
She does not like me.
Oh,
if I sit here and don't say nothing, she gonna have a problem with me being quiet.
You know, I kind of got the feeling that she's a distractor on the post because she's what was that? Wanda. She a Wanda. He allowed him to speak, and then when it was his time, I mean, hell, y'all saw what happened. I ain't got to rehash it to you, but
that's the problem right there.
Yeah,
we supposed to bow down to them young motherfucking titty suckers. I ain't bowing down to them motherfuckers, man. That's why I don't have conversations with them like that. And the thing is, it ain't the youngsters. Let's get that straight. Because the 12 to 18, I talk to all day, every day. It's the ones from 18 to 25 and 30 that think they done did something. You see what I'm saying? That think they done did something. So me, I'm going to be straight up with you, man. Good luck in what you do, Negro. Handle your business, because what you do on a daily. Today I had a conversation with my city council person about putting together a community task force to deal with the violence in the city of Houston. And the only way that I would do it is if we got every member from city council that has an increase in violence in their districts. They call me, boy. Don't never question what people do, man. Because you ain't doing what I do. I guarantee you that.
Well, that was fun.
It was a little different. It was a little different.
I'm willing to go toe to toe on anything. Whatever I believe in fighting for, I'm going to fight for it. I don't believe that if you in the middle of a major league battle, that you pull your wife in. No, I don't believe that.
Mm-mm.
I just don't believe that. But nowadays, that's the customary thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
So on this show here, I'm the gangster on the team, and I'm doing drive-bys on you and your wife on this program.
Damn. Yeah, so that didn't go. As a matter of fact, it did go like I thought it was gonna go. I just didn't think it was gonna go that bad. And somebody made a good point. He was doing good up until the whoop whoop whoop. And then that's kind of where it just went all downhill. But I mean, I just think that's really a prime example of what we're dealing with. You having,
Exactly.
having material things don't equate to you being a man.
Nothing.
At
Exactly.
all.
You got another guy want to come on.
I don't know.
Your show.
It's your call.
Hey, man, I don't care.
Wait. Hold up. LJ DeLeon says, I just smirked y'all. And he's a teacher. And he's using that vernacular. Scary. That's
you didn't murk us, you hollered us to death. That's what you did. That's the difference. When you hollering people to death, as a matter of fact, I'm not even going to address LJ no more. We need to talk to the people who are here to learn something. As far as I'm concerned, I don't see his comments no more.
It doesn't give my energy anymore. I put him on the show. I yielded the flow. And then when it was my turn to speak, no matter how he spoke, he could deliver it any way he chose to deliver it. So now it's my turn to deliver, and you want to shut me down? No, that is the problem. That when I talk to youngsters, what I teach them is conflict resolution. We can't resolve the conflict until we have the discussion, remember? So when I discuss it, you may not like what I say, but I'm only going to tell you the truth.
And LJ, I want to say this. Don't ever think you're the smartest man in the room. Yeah, you might be a teacher, but I'm going to tell you right now, between the three of us, there's 15 degrees.
I'm too busy in the hood, man, trying to save kids from getting murdered. I'm the one that created the Bridge the Gap program with the Houston Police Department and the kids in the schools. I did that. Bringing in the likes of my good friend Kimberly Smith, who's on here, a retired police officer. Kim the one brought Brad Scarface Jordan into the building with me. I'm the one that's getting the hip hop artists to come into our communities to help slow this down. But you don't get to disrespect me like that.
Gary, you don't owe him an explanation. Anybody has watched this show long enough knows what it is you do and what it is you are doing. I think at this point, it's just a waste of energy to continue focusing on him. Now, if he wants to stay and engage in the conversation, great. But you don't have to prove that to him at all.
One of the biggest things that I have a problem with is I am tired of going to funerals for kids under 25. Because at that age, you're not grown. Your mama done put you out at 18, and I get it. You're trying to find yourself. And a lot of these kids are dying on the streets before they're 25 years old. I've spoken at kids' funerals that, like, I don't know if y'all saw that time when they shot up the car at the nail shop. And it's been so many kids, I can't even remember the baby's name. But I had to speak at that baby's funeral. You know what I'm saying? When they shot little Romeo, 3 years old, out in Scott Plaza, shot through the window and shot this 3-year-old with an AK-47. How did that baby have a Christmas? My group, One Houston, One Hood, the Erica Alberts, the Stacey Rayons, we got together and did that for that baby. You youngsters could learn a lot if you understood that you got plenty of time to get to where I'm at. You got plenty of time to get to where I'm at. I am not afraid to turn 70 years old, but I'm afraid of y'all not making it to 30. Because the difference between us and y'all, we chose to listen to them old folk. Y'all don't want to listen. And we can't teach if you don't want to listen. I'm trying to see.
So again, back to the original point. I'm speaking to the ladies. Get to a Russell, and don't get to a Future. That was the premise of this show. Okay. Yeah, it went left. It went left and fell off the stage. Mm-hmm. But as Gary said, I mean, everybody's got to listen to somebody. God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. But unfortunately, there's a lot of people doing a whole lot of talking, and I don't do all that hollering and screaming and back and forth. No, I don't do it because there's nothing to be heard there. That's a lot of emotions, and I want to be right, you wrong, and ain't nobody saying nothing. So at the end of the day, I mean, I would like to believe, I'm on a platform where we're imparting knowledge, but I don't think we should ever do that again. Ever at all. And I'm
that just killed Courtney because he wanted to come on, and I'm saying you do what you do. I got to listen to you because I ain't finna hold my tongue. That's just all it is to it. I'm not finna do it. I'm not gonna do it. And when it comes to these youngsters, I kind of stay away from a lot of y'all because I know how I am. And if we was in each other's company, it ain't gonna go right. But it definitely ain't gonna go the way you think it's gonna go. It ain't gonna go the way you think it's gonna go. And that's why I tell people a lot of days, man, when you hear it almost all the time somewhere, man, that old school dude blew that youngster head off. They don't get it yet. Some of us just don't play.
And Courtney, you say the premise was changed when it was generalized. It wasn't generalized. Y'all got in y'all feelings. Y'all got in y'all feelings, and I'm gonna say it one more time. I said I wasn't gonna say no more. When y'all started defending fuckboyism, that's when it went left. When y'all started defending that behavior, you talking to some real live grown ups right here. We done been there and done all of that. And when you get to defending people who behave like Future, I'm not saying he's a bad guy. He's a bad guy as far as we see in regards to relationships and his child. But what y'all got in y'all feelings about what we were saying about Future and Russell. And again, I asked, why is it that you're defending Future over Russell, who is doing what he's supposed to be doing? I mean, I would like to say I'm confused by that, but then again, I'm not really, because it's just kind of, I don't want to say it's part of the course within y'all generation, but it's close.
Yeah, we got a long way to go, but like I said, I'm not giving up, and the message will get out, and we're not going to save everybody, but we're going to save a few. And as long as we can do that, we're doing something positive. We're doing something.
I'm gonna say it like this here, man. You ladies out there, based on tonight, I really think you need to go, go find you a side piece, man. Go find your old school dude, man. Leave these youngsters alone, man. Because if you ain't got a PlayStation in your house, they ain't gonna want to mess with you. They coming in your house, want to eat up all your food, don't want to pay no bills. Say, man, go get your old dude, man. Be done with it, man. It's a waste of time. And that's what it is. And I don't want to hear the opinion of no youngster right now. Don't call my phone. Don't talk to me. I'm only dealing with people over the age of 40 from here on out. I don't want to talk to y'all no more. I don't have the time. I don't do Hot Wheel tracks, and I don't smoke weed that's got all kind of chemicals in it. I don't do that. I don't pop bottles. I don't want to go to the club and shake my ass. I don't want to do none of that. You're 40 years old, you're at home with your old school music playing with your glass of wine. I'm kicking it with you. Final thoughts, Ms. Dimitri.
I think it's all been said already. Again, I'm gonna say it again. Ladies, get you a Russell Wilson and leave the futures alone. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it until people start getting it. I'm nothing but an old fool, but there's a lot of dead young geniuses out there.
I want to thank y'all for tuning in, and let me know when the next funeral is for somebody under 30 years old. I'm not going to wear a suit. I'm going to wear my sweats, and I'll say a few words when I get there. And hopefully y'all can wake up tomorrow and take care of your kids, and don't beat on your girlfriend. Hopefully you can do all that. But right now I'm only kicking it with people that's 40. This conversation, it's been a hell of a conversation. Tomorrow night we're gonna switch the game up. I got all these pro-black people on here, but tomorrow night I'm bringing the whitest black politician I know. Straight up Republican, and I rocks with him. And after I talk to him tomorrow night, I'm gonna decide if I'm gonna vote for Biden or I'm gonna vote for Trump. But I know when I call Michael Kubash, that Republican shows up in my neighborhood. And when he shows up, he shows out. Tomorrow night, a Republican that take care of the black neighborhood. And I wish you would get on in and disrespect him. 5 star and I'm out.